Catherine West.
Thank you very much, Mrs Miller, and could I beg your indulgence because I was late for the meeting due to being on Westminster Bridge, and I know everybody in this room, in this hall, would like to put on record their thoughts for the survivors who were there on the bridge this afternoon, and many of us who were MPs at the time will remember the terrible events of being in the chamber 5 years ago. I wanted also to thank the honourable member who I follow from Derby, because I couldn't agree with him more about the cricket. And that's the theme of my very short remarks about the sports hall for Highgate Wood School. Highgate Wood School is a very mixed local authority school and has some very proud alumni, including the journalist Robert Peston, who some people might know from the ITV programme Peston. But it has the worst sports hall I have ever seen. The Minister's colleague, Baroness Baron from the other place, was very indulgent and gave me 20 minutes by Zoom in January, and I just wanted to use this further opportunity to make the case for the school which we all have in our constituencies, which takes every child. So when a child falls out of another school, this is the school that picks them up. It's got a very big heart, this school. It's very community-minded. It takes children with a range of special educational needs who are just hanging in there in mainstream education. And it also teaches GCSE at Year 11. And there are more girls than boys in this school. And I know, as a great champion for young women, Ms Miller, you will agree that it's important that girls at particular times of the month have a decent place to change. And the current facilities at Highgate Wood School in the sports hall are completely unacceptable. Dickensian is the only word I could use to describe for the prison-like toilets and changing room facilities, and the serious problem with water ingress and subsidence. The appalling changing and toilet areas can be very off-putting for girls in particular. The school currently has a number of bulge classes, once again being a school with a very big heart. When we had the bulge, which happened in London schools around 2006-07, it immediately said, we can do this, we can have more classes, and it was able to just, at the drop of a hat, provide more schools. So there are actually 270 students in each year, which is way above the 240 students which the school is actually built and designed for. And yet that was the school that said, don't worry, we will become a several form entry school. And that's why I'm here today, because the 1,600 pupils at Highgate Wood School deserve better. Now, the local authority has a lot of really dilapidated Victorian primary schools, which it is currently quite rightly prioritising. But in terms of secondary schools, I've never seen a worse set of facilities for the basic provision of sport. And we know the importance of sport post-COVID, and the Honourable Member for Derby talked about the Lawn Tennis Association and also the importance of inner-city cricket. Why can't inner-city kids learn cricket the same way you can?
The Honourable Member give way.
I will.
It would be an absolute honour to be the Member of Parliament for Derby, but I'm the Member for Bury North, talking about Derby School. But one of the things about Derby, which I think is really important, is that we've seen with the potential threat to Derby County Football Club about how sport, in every possible way, it has the ability to inspire people of every age group, including at schools, and that the opportunity to be able to participate is so, so important. Does she agree with that?
Of course I agree with that, and thank you for the clarification on the Derby and Bury boundary. While we're talking about boundaries, I'll conclude my remarks just with the comment that many of you will know the member for Tottenham in this House, and because my local government area shares Tottenham and Hornsey and Wood Green, sometimes Hornsey and Wood Green slightly misses out because the Tottenham side of the constituency tends to have, on paper, certain indices of deprivation. But as many of you will be aware who have different borough boundaries and different arrangements of which children go to which schools, Highgate Wood School takes a number of children from the Tottenham area, and it is a very mixed school, and therefore I think is actually the best in education. It's a good school, Ofsted rated, despite the dilapidated facilities for the sports provision. And I do hope that the Minister will make the case for this school because it's being a good citizen. We all know that during COVID our schools had to really pull together. They had to do more than what they would normally do. And I just hope that we can reward the schools who make the effort, who take in the difficult children to educate and who try somehow to be as ambitious as possible, and that includes ambitious on a really high level of sports teaching, and also providing the teaching of PE teachers, which is what this school does. It provides teaching for PE teachers, but has the worst facilities that I've ever seen. So I do hope that the Minister will give due regard to these remarks and will work with the local authority to provide the necessary funding for up-to-date and correct facilities for Highgate Wood School. Thank you very much.